They're pretty gruesome murders, and the big thing is to come down on Halloween and do your thing.
I kept looking behind me because John was either beside me or in front of me, and I heard boots, and it wasn't his boots.
We grew up, I don't know, town in Minnesota, about 15 minutes from here, but we'll take a look. Oh, good morning. We need some wilderness therapy. We need some outdoor space today, don't we, Miss?
Yes, very much so.
We're going to hit the road just a little bit out of town here and go to a place called Gitchie Manitou. Don't know how to spell that. And famous place we'll talk to you a little bit about when we get there. And a nice little outdoor spot, and then hopefully to a little state park here by the Iowa-South Dakota border. Time to get outdoors. We're just pulling up here at Gitchie Manitou State Preserve. Looks a little interesting, but we'll take a walk around. Hopefully there's some hiking trails. Looks like there is. Missy's doing the new sun hat that we purchased. Yep. Sure is. Getting it done. Let's grab our backpack and see what the heck we can get into here. This is what you get when you go to a little wildlife preserve or preserve in South Dakota-Iowa border. Cornfields, prairie grass, baby. Not sure if you heard it in the distance there, but yes, those are cows as well. Beautiful day out though. I think it's 80 degrees, mild, windy. Like, this is just epic weather. Beautiful. Hopefully we'll find a little spot to throw our hammocks up and relax, kick back a little bit. No doctoring, as they say here in the Midwest, I guess. Just chill and relax. I think it's by the Sioux River. Pretty surprised I never came here. We grew up, I don't know, town in Minnesota, about 15 minutes from here, but we'll take a look, walk you through a little bit of the history. Gotta be an inlet. Oh, that is the Sioux. Holy smokes, that's low.
Yeah.
In the time that I grew up here, this river usually was splashing over the bank, so this is very low. When we get down by the water, I'll walk you through a little bit of the history, which dates back to 1973 with some brutal murders. Once you get in here, the paths open up a little bit at least, so there's a pretty decent amount of pathway right now. Definitely a lot of vandalism. Unfortunately, we're seeing spray paint everywhere, which is just a shame. Please don't vandalize. There, that's my public announcement for today. These rock formations back here is kind of the main part. Back in the 70s, where kids and teenagers would gather just to play music, to have some small parties, get-togethers, and this is kind of where everything broke down that night. You can easily see in the Midwest here, there's just miles of corn and wheat fields between anywhere in this area, so it was a good secluded place to throw a party. All right, well, I think we took a left instead of a right. Well, we'll head back in.
Yeah, it says a state preserve boundary, wildlife management area, public hunting.
Walking around back in here, preserve that has kind of a haunted history to it, and at the end of one of the trails, you just run into a house with a large totem pole. Missy's telling me, I guess, how freaky that is to run into a house that has a 20-foot totem pole somewhere that has some scary history, so I'll go with that. The preserve itself was originally put together to protect Indian burial grounds from the Good Earth location. Yeah, so I guess back in the day, with our parents would come out here on the rocks, and you can see how hidden that is from everything, and, you know, have a little party out here by the river and by the rocks here, so.
Yep.
I think we found the swimming hole out here. Should we take a look? Yeah. It's time to cool down from this 80-degree heat. Let me show you what you got.
Ew, gross.
As long as you can swim through the duckweed. It has that same feeling when we're at Garrettson at Palisades State Park. This Sioux Rock quartzite, I think it is. Down to these, you can see the water. Crazy thing is, this thing could be just crazy. The crazy thing is, this thing could be crazy deep. That's a lot of crazy.
one we showed you at Garrettson a couple episodes back. I'll show you. Had been measured down to almost 700-ish feet deep. Don't know how deep this is, but it could be pretty deep.
So this was the area that everything kind of broke down, back by the water, back by the rocks. These kids had their guitars, had a campfire out, and about 10 o'clock, I believe, they had some people walk up saying they were police agents, or I believe DEA agents, and they shot 3 of the 4 kids, and the 4th one was taken hostage for a bit, but did survive and get away. We'll take a little walk over here to the old building, take a look at some of the graffiti artwork that's there. But this is where they had started to hear some of those noises that night. The entire preserve really is prairie grass. You have some quarry, the Sioux Rock there, and then the Sioux River there as well. So really good outdoor area. Just has a dark and interesting history. We were trail adjacent.
There was a thistle that tried to get me, and here's some more. Thistles, I tell you what. John. That's why I do that stuff. Although I did friggin'
Remains of the old building. You can see obviously the amount of graffiti, layers and layers of paint, which is a shame.
in its own way, it is kind of pretty though.
I can see that, miss.
But it's terrible that they do it.
I mean, especially on something like this.
Yeah, I mean, it is a state preserve, you know. If it was like, where did we go? That city?
Kind of love the old carrot there with the, the thing.
Yeah, somebody actually is pretty artistic. I mean, with a spray paint can, I don't think I could do near as good. Because this is a mushroom over here. And then they got like a little guy with some buck teeth.
Is that SpongeBob, miss?
Maybe. And then here's another little mushroom.
Oh, that must have been SpongeBob, because we got Patrick.
Here's Patrick.
Oh, I love being purple.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys.
How about we break this down to a little art montage style?
Who do we appreciate more? Turtles. Turtles. Go turtles.
Yeah, I think Missy's found some turtles, guys.
Okay, do you see that big log that's kind of up? Come out into the duckweed. And then they just disappear. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Maybe that was the murderer.
Not a bad little day hike. Beautiful area. A bunch of rock to sit by, so, nothing too special, but really nice to visit. We have never been here.
Yeah, that's kind of neat to see.
I take it's a bird preserve. All the prairie grass and everything is strong, so they're probably for all the prairie birds. But round 1 complete, and we will.
I'm kind of glad though that we're leaving on this walk out. John thinks I'm crazy. I heard footsteps behind me. There's nobody here. We're the only one. Look, it's our van. There's nobody here. But I distinctly heard him 3 different times and it wasn't John. So it's kind of freaking me out.
Only us. I think her brain's playing tricks on her. We'll still walk through the history of this place, but there's a famous murder down here, so I think it's probably.
He don't know.
Yeah, so we'll hit up some state park that I'm gonna have to figure out the name to in a second here, but let alone it just being a gorgeous day, this was nice. So I highly recommend Gitchie Manitou Preserve. Find yourself down by the water and by the rocks.
Just beware though, you might hear some stuff. Because when I swear, when I went in, I didn't hear anything. And even like being in there was one spot that I kind of felt weird in. It was on the one rocks, like that really didn't have a view. Those were kind of weird. I felt kind of icky there, but all the
That's
ones
where the old party site was.
Yeah, all the ones by the river, I didn't feel anything. But then when we came, and in the house, I didn't feel anything. But when we came back down the road to get to the van, I kept looking behind me because John was either beside me or in front of me, and I heard boots, and it wasn't his boots. It was, I don't know, I heard like heavy boots. It was creepy. It was really creepy.
Definitely freaky. Not always my thing or my sensations, but I mean, from being like 5-year-old on, you always heard about this place. I just never made it out here, but they're pretty gruesome murders, and the big thing is to come down on Halloween and do your thing, and there's a whole bunch of really crazy stories, but you always think it's folklore even though there's tons of them.
Right.
But yeah, it's funny to hear that she was sensing some things.
Yeah, it is just crazy.
You can tell Missy really had some strong sensations out there, which we were not expecting at all. We thought it would just be a day hike and seeing the area. We decided to look a little bit farther into it and found not only the murders I was aware of, dating back to the early 70s, there is images of dark, slender people walking in and out of the woods. In 75 and I think 77, very weird alien lights. And talking to locals, finding out that this has been a hot spot since the late 60s. Unbeknownst to me, but Missy definitely was freaking out in a couple spots. So pretty crazy stuff.
All right, we got Missy a new hat. It is hot and sunny out, even in South Dakota, and we are going to take a little walk downtown and go to the old Courthouse Museum and take a look around. We'll show you what we can find.
Sioux Falls really has put a lot of energy into its downtown. Highly recommend walking around. The old Courthouse Museum has been here since I was a kid. I've just never stopped in, so today is the day. Missy's checking out some of the history of Sioux Falls. This is pretty cool. And of course, when you're looking at Sioux Falls history, this is what makes the map. But this is the Great Blizzard of 2009. Let me change that to 1909. But you can see that is just crazy. Total of almost 10 feet. The Native American artifacts were definitely one of the best parts of the museum. Beautifully preserved. The collection of old pictures about the town were amazing. This is showing 1885 to 1985 up to current time on this old road. Missy's doing the stairs for the second time so I can record this.
You're not supposed to tell him that.
Check this out, guys. We're in the old Courthouse Museum, but this is one of the actual courtrooms. Look how beautiful this is. Now it is just set for weddings and get-togethers, but this is gorgeous.
Guys, you know what this would be great for? Ballroom dancing.
Here's the old balcony from above to watch the trial. The room that we were just in. Of all the things South Dakota is famous for, pheasant hunting is probably the biggest. Millions of people fly in every year for big pheasant hunts, including the presidents and politicians. Definitely a big part of state history.
Crazy how they make these hats look so pretty. They had a pheasant. The Law Library. Wallace Dow's 1889 blueprints designated this room as the new Law Library. However, by 1901, the room became the office for the county superintendent of schools. It remained that office until county government moved to the new building in 1962. The county commission accepted See Shonaraj's bid of $150 on December 6, 1900 to paint and decorate the walls and ceiling of this room and the county judge's office.
Bam.
Diggity.
I had a great time hiking today, man.
Yeah, it was really fun.
We love the wilderness. It just
Yes.
talks to us. Do a little chat from the van since it's been a little bit. But yeah, hiking was good. Our spirits are high. Illustrious after hiking. We're going to hop into Planet Fitness here and take some showers. You know, living the high life. But the main thing, quick updates. We'll touch base on the doctor's appointments and how the testing is going. But we have a lot more information on Missy. Mostly self-diagnosed, but everything is going in place. And in a handful of hours, we will be 3.5 days, almost 4 days of no symptoms.
Yes, no symptoms. No burning, no craziness, no high blood pressure, no low blood pressure, just back to normal.
Dramatically different than the last 2 weeks of craziness. So this is good. We think we understand what it is, and we'll see if we can keep this going.
That's right.
Awesome. So good times, good hikes. Gonna smell good in a little bit.
Yes.
And we will talk to you soon.